Hey everybody, Sarah.
And John.
Here to remind you to follow the I Read a Book Once podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and SoundCloud at I Read a Book Once podcast.
And don't forget Twitter at IRABO podcast. That's IRABO podcast. Welcome to the I Read a Book Once podcast with Sarah and John.
Where we don't know a lot, but we've got a lot to say.
And this episode is our Moon podcast.
Hell yeah!
Yes, our moon.
Hell yeah! We want to talk about the moon. Because
Absolutely.
At the end of every month is a full moon. So
that is true. That is factual.
the next one's coming up this week.
Yeah, it's actually on April 27th of this month of April. The 27th.
2018.
2018. And this moon is special. Do you know why, Jonathan?
What? This moon is special?
It is.
Why?
This is the pink moon.
The pink moon.
It is the pink moon. But before we get too ahead of ourselves here, we want to thank today's totally legit sponsors.
Our totally legit sponsors are Absorbitant and Sparing Us Asparagus.
Both wonderful products. I haven't tried Absorbitant myself.
I always have that thing on. That thing is awesome.
Yeah, it sounds really life-changing.
It really changed your life. So, you know, like, just having that in you just gives you that boost, you know? So, during this pink moon, do, like, werewolves still change into werewolves? Like, because it's a pink moon, like, you know? Like,
That's a good point. Like, does... Or do animagus or anybody that can change into an animal in general, are they still able to change with the moon?
Wait, what did you call them? Animagus?
It's a Harry Potter term.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
I don't... What the hell?
I'm sorry.
I was like, Animagus? What the...
So I love Harry Potter. I have Harry Potter tattoos. I love Harry Potter. I read a book once, but I read Harry Potter 19 million times.
So you could say you're an expert. You can't be on this podcast if you're an expert on Harry Potter.
I'm sorry. If it helps, a lot of people know a lot more than me now that Pottermore is out. I haven't looked at Pottermore like at all. I liked what I liked, I guess. We've had some really wonderful memories of just like looking up at the moon. Like, for instance, I know you and I go on a lot of different road trips and stuff, and I know we've gotten to see the moon in all her glory in different areas.
Moon all the time, yeah. We always look at the moon. It's just like, it's fun to just look at the stars, you know? Like, it just standing outside and just absorbing the astrological goodness that we have on this planet. Mm-hmm. Like, remember that one time that there was like a I don't know, meteor shower or whatever? It was like... Oh,
when we were outside?
Yeah.
That was at my house.
Yeah, we were at your house, and we saw the hugest, like, brightest meteor come into...
They looked like fireballs, like totally something out of Harry Potter.
A UFO like on fire, just like the biggest trail of it, and like it was like there and then gone, and like
it was like fire shooting stars.
It was crazy. Like, I've never seen anything like that. Like, I've seen shooting stars like camping, like with my family and stuff like that when we used to go camping a lot. Mm-hmm. Like, just sitting around the fire, just looking at the shooting stars, just like tiny little guys. You'd be like, oh, there's one, oh, there's one.
Yeah, that was something totally out of this world for sure.
This one was like, whoa, holy crap. Like, I've never seen anything like it like
that was
before.
Crazy. Oh, speaking of something we've never seen before, and talking about the moon, when we were driving back from, I think we were driving back from Utah this last trip, and we were driving at night because we drove all the way through the night, and while we were driving, we just kind of looked out the window because everything around us was completely flat, and I don't know if you remember, but I almost wanted us to pull over because the moon was... incredible. It was the biggest I've ever seen it. It was the brightest I'd ever seen it. It was
pretty bright. I remember, like, you can see crazy. Everything. Like, well, like, I guess, like, it's...
There's not really anything to see out there.
You can't really see anything, but, like, you didn't need, like, the headlights, really. It was pretty bright.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was maybe 2 in the morning, and it was okay that we didn't have street lights because it was just so bright and beautiful.
So bright and beautiful. I love it. So bright.
Well, speaking of bright, you're a pretty bright little guy, aren't you, Mr. Jonathan?
You could say that. I've been to school a couple times.
Been to school a couple times.
I like learning.
Like learning. Just recently graduated.
Hey.
Heyo, Mr. Successful over here.
Successful with the diploma.
With the diploma.
I got my diploma in plant science. And I plan to do great things with plants.
Hell yeah!
You better do great things with plants.
Hell yeah!
You bring them to areas where people don't have... What is it? You're bringing...
like it's kind of like a community gardening. Like urban areas don't have a lot of space, so like you know, bringing the community together to grow stuff, like that's pretty good, you know. So,
I feel like that didn't explain what it was at all.
Well,
so you're bringing produce to low income areas that normally don't have the ability to buy these things or even have them in their stores or know how to cook with them for the most part, correct?
I guess so. You could, bringing the community together to, it's just like more of a, sort of like a, kind of like a, well, it's just bringing awareness to, you know, like having more urban farms in a low income area because that's where they need it the most, you know? So, yeah.
So because you graduated, you were able to take some tests. You were able to take tests for your PCA license and your agricultural commissioner license, correct?
Yeah. So to be a licensed pest control advisor, that's what PCA is. You got two oh yeahs? Two different oh yeahs.
I do. I didn't know I had two. So there's this oh yeah? There's that one.
Wait, no. Oh yeah.
I like that one.
So to be a licensed pest control advisor, you'd have to have years of experience or a degree in an agriculture related field. So having my plant science...
Continue.
So having my PCA license, my plant science degree kind of qualifies me to take these tests to be a pest control advisor.
That's so interesting. It's so hard when you explain it to me, even exactly what's happening.
I don't know how to explain it, so like...
I feel like we should know how to explain these things, too. Like, we should know what's in our food.
We're not experts.
We're not experts. Read the book one time, took one test, passed it, we're good.
We're good, done. We're done.
So I wanted to call my grandmother. And I actually chose to call her for two reasons. One reason, I wanted to tell her that you took your test and everything. So I thought maybe she'd be excited to hear about that. And
we like keeping the family updated and stuff.
Yeah. And also, Grandma said something like when I was really little, and I've heard Grandma B talk about it maybe 2 or 3 times since. And it's called moon tanning. And I've never asked her what it was. I've never asked her more about it, but...
Wait, is this something that you only do during full moons, or could you do it like any time?
I have no idea. So I wanted to ask her, because I don't know anything about it. So I called my Grandma B. So let me play that call for you right now just so you can hear and maybe get some answers.
Oh, we have questions about this.
We have questions.
We have so many questions.
So this was my call earlier with Grandma B.
I hope we learn a lot.
You will.
Oh, okay. Calling Grandma B.
What? She doesn't answer.
I know. Oh.
Hello, Grandma B. Grandma B?
Hi, Grandma.
Who is this? What do you want?
It's me, Sarah.
Who?
Sarah, Grandma B, your granddaughter.
Esther.
Your granddaughter?
Esther died 4 years ago. She had a heart attack. I always told her not to be so fat, but she didn't listen. So she died horribly in front of her children at her grandson's brisk eating a salami sandwich in the lobby.
Just going
Oh,
on.
God. No, Grandma B, it's Sarah.
Sandra,
What is moon tanning, Grandma B?
the moon.
Yes, Grandma, the moon. Moon tanning.
It's the pink moon, you know.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
she knows
know.
about the
But
moon
how do you know that, Grandma?
It's a month to kill weeds, then prune, mow, fish, and cut timber.
Holy crap, she's
Our
old.
ancestors called it the pink moon, but some idiots call it the sprouting grass moon, egg moon, or fish moon. When have you ever seen a fish in the moon? When? You haven't?
Wow, you certainly know a lot about the pink moon, Grandma B.
Who is this?
Grandma, what is moon tanning? Can you tell me what moon tanning is?
Moon tanning is laying on the ground in the nude. You absorb her rays and lay on the earth naked. If the moon rises pale, it's gonna rain. If the moon rises pink, it's gonna snow.
But why do people want to do that?
So you could feel her power, intoxicate you, and charge your veins to keep you going because of her power.
That's awesome, Grandma.
Who is this? The moon?
Oh, God. Thank you, Grandma B. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.
The moon? The moon!
Bye. So I
Oh
hope
my-
that answered some of your questions this evening.
Yeah, your Grandma B just like starts rambling off
She
sometimes.
sure does. I never did get around to... You know, like when you get advertisements in the middle of your conversation? I never did get to tell her about your test, so I apologize. This may be the way that she is informed about it, but Grandma B, he doing good.
I'm doing good. Well, it's kind of related though. Like your grandma kind of talked about plants and weeds and all the different kinds of plant stuff.
Right, so I guess this
I
can
don't-
be the sprouting grass moon or
Like what
the fish moon.
Yeah, what is up with the fish?
I don't know, but I guess it's just a really good month, a really good moon for plants and animals.
That's good, I guess.
I
It is
guess.
springtime.
I wonder
so,
if that has-
that's when everything's coming up and stuff and ready to spring out from the frost that winter brought.
Not to mention we just had Earth Day.
Earth Day, yeah.
Oh. We didn't even think about Earth Day. He's so smart. Things are going to get even more crazy on the I Read a Book Once podcast right after a word from our totally legit sponsors.
You're tired. You worked all day. You worked all weekend. You're tired. And when you're tired, the last thing you want to do is mix a powdered vitamin drink or take a handful of no-promise pills that claim to heal all ailments. You need Absorbitaint. Absorbitaint is the anti-supplement supplement patch that gives you your healthy daily dose of dihydrogen oxide, dextrose, fructose, and galactose. By attaching just one adhesive patch a day to the skin of your taint, you will feel awake, energized, calm, and healed.
Having 3 kids, time is extremely important. And wasting that time taking 12 supplements is time that I should be with my children. I use Absorbitaint because my kids need their mom.
I don't always remember to take my supplements on busy days and end up paying for it later. But now, with Absorbitaint, I don't have to. 1 patch a day and my fructose is in check and my energy levels balanced.
Absorbitaint patches use cutting-edge technology to release healthy doses of minerals, gases, and monosaccharides throughout your day when you need it most straight through your taint. Absorbitaint, the anti-supplement supplement.
Do you struggle to get your little ones to eat their vegetables? Are you tired of fighting Jimmy and Janie every night over dinner time? Now you don't have to with the Sparing Us Asparagus. The Sparing Us Asparagus is a cute and simple gas mask filled with fresh organic vegetable air. Just put it around your child's head once they are asleep, fasten it to their face, and have them breathe in their healthy daily serving of vegetables.
Side effects may include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, convulsions, suffocation, panic attack, and possibly death. Don't leave child unattended.
Now, getting them to eat their veggies is a breath of fresh air, thanks to Sparing Us Asparagus.
Veggie Air sold separately. Take the I Read a Book Once podcast everywhere you go. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and SoundCloud at I Read a Book Once podcast.
Now, back to our show.
Welcome back to the I Read a Book Once podcast.
I hope you enjoyed a word from our totally legit sponsors.
They're totally legit.
Totally.
So, I'd like to explain these totally legit sponsors.
Yeah, we probably should.
Like, we should just let people, like, inform the public of these public service announcements.
No! Okay, maybe... Alright, yeah, we have to tell people.
We have to premise
we
it with...
We need to explain these totally legit sponsors, because they are totally legit.
Sponsors.
Because
we are sponsoring our own self, technically.
We are.
So, we're funding it from our own pocket. So,
right.
We're making these commercials available for a spot if somebody wants to sponsor us.
Yeah, so if you do want to sponsor our podcast, feel free to let us know. And that's where you'll go, right in between that little break there.
But our totally legit sponsors for today, Absorbitant and Sparing Us Asparagus, were made by yours truly, Sarah, from the I Read a Book Once podcast.
No way.
Shut up.
I thought that was going to be like a shut up.
Shut up!
It wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
It was good, though. It was good. So, Sarah, like, she's been putting a lot of work into these podcast commercials. So, like, we wanna show our talent, too, you know? So, this is our way of doing that. And
it's also a really fun way to just bring all of our friends in to make silly voices, to make these really fun little commercials.
Yeah, we're having fun with these.
Like,
too,
honestly,
you know?
that's what this entire podcast is about. This is me and Jonathan just really having fun. Normally, we'd be talking about this on a walk, and I didn't want to go on a walk, so instead we're sitting down recording this for you guys.
You got me.
I got you.
Me,
I know.
Damn.
Oh, too late.
All right.
But coming back to our idea about the moon, since this is the pink moon, that's a pretty big deal from what Grandma B at least has told me. It sounds like a pretty big deal.
She really knows about this pink moon.
I was looking up some things about the moon myself, and I kept coming across something every time I was looking in any which direction. There was no way getting around it. It's the entire action of mooning.
Oh, like pulling your pants down and showing your little crack.
Of exposing your tush.
To the world.
To the world. Whether it be in a funny way or in a...
Embarrassing way.
Or in a way to be mean to people. Or... Like you moon them because you're mad at them.
What?
I
You
don't
can
know.
do an angry moon?
You don't do that?
No, I don't really.
Oh,
No.
wow. You should see me in traffic, and my butt's out the whole time.
You moon people while you're driving?
Yeah, you don't do that?
No, maybe like give them a mad look or something like.
Nothing says mad look more than butt cheeks.
Well, like my butt's kind of like hairy. Like I don't like to admit it, but I got a hairy butt. So sometimes...
You are one pathetic loser.
That poor guy with his hairy butt. You know, you can probably do something about that with Absorbitant. Just kidding.
Yeah, just stick those patches right on and rip them off.
Oh, man, you're just waxing your whole butt.
Just do it. They're also... They have a dual purpose, you know? Like, some people like them for the, you know, special qualities that they give you, energy or whatever. You know, like supplements do what they do. Or you could also, or if they don't work, you could just rip them off and use them as waxing strips. You know, same price, pretty much. Right? Maybe.
All right. Well, bringing us back to mooning. I found out some historical facts about mooning itself. Are you ready for this?
You have facts about mooning?
I have facts. I have historically accurate facts about mooning.
When was the first person who mooned?
So the first
you actually have this?
I have this. Was in the 1st century AD. You know what that means? A dinosaur.
Okay.
No, what does AD mean?
AD is after
Da Vinci.
Da Vinci, yeah.
So the first instance was seen as an extreme insult. Like the lowest of the lowest insult. And you're not going to believe this, but it was actually a Roman soldier who mooned some Jews celebrating Passover. And it ended up starting an entire riot. Let me explain. This guy's butt ended up starting a riot that killed 30,000 people.
Oh, damn.
30,000 people died because of this guy's booty.
This guy's butt must be
this
like...
guy's booty.
He should have it framed. Should have it plastered.
No, people died!
Like, it's historical, though, you know? Like, they need to make a monument.
Well, here's the thing, too, because upon further examination, I don't know if they got to talk to this guy, I don't know what happened here, but they realized that he was not actually just baring his butt to just mock them and show them his buns. He was actually farting in their direction.
And he wanted to get that
so
clear
all
shot.
those people died because of a fart, basically. If like just burying your buns didn't make it ridiculous enough, it was because of a fart, basically.
I wonder how the people were like when they first saw that, like, hey, I'm gonna use that on someone else. Like, that's how it like kept going, you know, like
it just ended up being like a joke around everybody. Oh, your dad died from a fart. It was just a big misunderstanding. And you and I don't have too many misunderstandings because you and I have been together for almost 10 years at this point.
Closer to 10 than it is to 5, yeah.
Closer to 10 than 5. 8 years, yeah. You know what that means. 50 years we've been together.
That's not how math works.
Yeah, math works that way. So we've been together for 50 years.
Maybe if you're in dog years, yeah.
In dog years, we've been married for 50 years. But I don't think that you and I would have such an issue. Well, obviously we wouldn't have an issue with mooning one another. I think we'd think it was probably pretty funny.
Yeah.
But I don't think we'd have an issue with a misunderstanding as much. And I actually want to put that to the test right now with a challenge. Are you up for this challenge?
You're challenging me?
I'm challenging you.
Well, bring it on, man.
To 2 truths and a lie.
2 truths and 1 lie.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you 3 stories, 2 of which will be true, and 1 that isn't. And you have to figure out which one is not true. So I tried really hard because you and I, we do know each other backwards, like back of our hand.
Almost more than half of our lives we've known each other now.
Yeah, that is crazy. Wow. Wow. Well, damn. But I'm going to tell you 3 stories. 2 are true. One is a lie. Are you ready? Are you up for this challenge?
I am up for this.
It's time to play 2 truths and a lie.
That's the Family Feud.
Did you like that? Did you like my excitement when I said it? I tried to do the excitement for a reason. All right, so do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
You go first. You're ready. You're ready.
Okay, so you want to hear... All right, here we go.
Let me hear your 2 truths and 1 lie.
Here's my 2 truths and 1 lie. So I'll give you a second. Let's write these down. Let's write down our 2 truths and a lie.
Okay.
And we'll come back as soon as we're ready.
Okay.
Okay, go. So here are my 3 stories. Let me see if you can figure it out. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Story number 1. I once convinced someone to give me a free giant chocolate cupcake during a theater show because it had a finger indent or hole in it. When I finally convinced her to give it to me because it was unsanitary, as I picked it up, I accidentally stuck my finger in one next to it, like, completely. Like, way worse than the one I was picking up. Well, way more unsanitary. And she just gave me like kind of a death stare.
Oh.
And it was a great cupcake, but that's just a memory I have of trying to pick up one and accidentally sticking my finger in it.
Can I ask questions about this story? Or should I wait till after?
What do you mean ask questions?
Yeah, to try to figure it out. Or do I have to just guess straight out? Straight out guess.
Am I going to be able to ask you stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, ask me stuff.
Did you say where this cupcake was? Like, where did you talk to this girl?
So it was outside of a theater production. So it was actually at my high school, outside of the theater room. All right. So if you listen to our pilot episode, you might know this one.
Okay.
I almost fell out of a roller coaster one time at Knott's Berry Farm because my dad's knees were too high. All right, and here's the last one. Truth or lie? When I was little, me and my mom, my sister would go to Albertsons all the time. It was fun because the bakery would have that lady that would always give us like the broken cookies. Like they have it out in the little container. You could just walk up and get them. It was super fun. And sometimes we would get a carbonated water, which were my favorite anyways. They had a coffee aisle that had these coffee dispensers in it. Do you remember that in Albertsons? Right by the mall, they used to have coffee dispensers in the aisles where you could actually go and bag your own coffee beans.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Do you remember those?
Yeah,
they were good, and they smelled, like, the aisle just smelled good.
Yeah.
So I would go down that aisle just as soon as I could. Like, my mom would be in one aisle getting whatever kind of, like, cans or whatever she needed, and I'd be in the next one just, like...
Smelling coffee.
Oh, it smells so good. I can't wait to be an adult. So it's those kind of dispensers. You just put the bag underneath. You get all the beans inside, basically so that they're not gonna like fall over the floor, kind of thing. They go in a bag. Yeah,
it's kind of like those
like the candy dispensers.
Yeah, you buy by the pound or whatever. You buy how much you want.
So something that I like to do is I like to put my hand like underneath
the dispenser,
and like just like kind of like let them out so I can like smell them and stuff. And sometimes I just like, put them in my mouth a little bit, just like taste it and stuff. But I don't know what it was, but it felt really good if you put your hand underneath it and you let it like trickle like water. It just felt good, you know? And so I'd do that, and I just stand there and go like from coffee to coffee and like smell my hand after, because my hands smell like beautiful coffees. And I had a woman that worked there one time like come around the aisle and like look at me and go like, "What are you doing?" And I just like had stuff in my hand, and I just like put them in my mouth. Like I just like all of them that were like in my hand, I just put them in my mouth. And I just had to eat them.
You ate coffee beans?
And they're nasty by themselves, but I just had to like I basically just ended up swallowing them, but because I didn't want to get in trouble.
Wait, did she like saw you like eat them? Did she see you eat them?
Yeah, she saw me like put up like a handful in my mouth. Because at least that justifies what my hand is in them, because I'm eating them.
Okay.
Like, I don't know.
Alright.
I don't know. She didn't tell my mom or anything, so whatever. Worked out okay. Alright, and that's my 2 truths and a lie.
So which one's the truth?
So which one is the truth?
And which one's the lie?
Let's recap.
So you have the cupcake story.
So we have the cupcake story, where I convinced a girl at a concession stand to give me a cupcake because it had a finger hole in it, and explained her it was unsanitary,
yep.
and proceeded to stick my finger in the one next to it.
Okay, and then
I almost fell off a roller coaster because my dad's knees were too high.
I know that one's true.
Okay. Coffee beans, I had to eat them in the aisle because I used to put my hand under it.
Okay.
Which one is true?
And which
one is a lie?
I'm gonna say eating coffee is a lie. Yeah! You would not eat coffee.
You're right. So I did do the thing where I used to put my hand underneath it, though.
I can tell
that part of it's true. Getting the cookies is true. It's literally just the eating it part. I never got caught. So yeah, that's how you get away with everything. I'm just saying, we haven't been doing this podcast for hours, and all of a sudden, somebody with their fireworks. Rude.
I was gonna say, like, I love the smell of coffee. It's just like, it kind of like energizes your soul, you know? It just smells good.
It's the smell of adult honey.
It's the smell of adult. All right, Are you ready for my truths and a lie?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Let's do this.
So,
First one?
my first one. One time in 3rd grade, I fought a kid named Matt over a kickball game during recess. And right at the end, like, just trying to win this game that we were all playing. So I yelled back, and then he came up to me and saying, like, you're not being fair, man. I was being like a little kid, like, punking him. And we were walking back to class, and he punched me, so I punched him back. And
You're what grade here?
3rd grade.
You're in 3rd grade and you punched a kid.
And I remember having recess detention and sitting next to him.
They made you sit next to him at detention, too?
Well, it was just like, we had to sit down and not play during recess one time.
Oh, okay.
And that was it.
Just smack him again.
and then the next year we had like the same class together, and we became best friends.
Oh, wow. Silver lining. See? Sat next to each other in detention, best friends.
Best friends.
Sometimes detention's a good thing. Write that down, bud.
All right. So that
I don't know what word that was. We'll have to cut that last word out that I tried to... I'm all bud or something. I don't know what that was.
All right, boo.
All right, bud.
All right, so I recently just...
Wait. Ready? Next one?
So recently, as you guys just heard, I took my PCA exam. It was in a pretty far distance from where we live. It's like a 2-hour drive.
Mm-hmm.
So
you had to get a hotel and everything.
Yeah, I had to get a hotel room. And I didn't have to pay for the hotel room because I tricked the lady to thinking I already paid for it. So he checks the computer and said I don't know what's wrong with the computer. They said come back in the morning and we'll try to clear things up. And me thinking if I leave early enough because I have my exam in the morning, I don't have to pay for it, right? So I decided to check the door, see if it was open in the morning to see if they were awake. And they didn't do it, so I just left my key in the drop box and I left. So I got my room for free. So one of my first cuss words as a kid was which I was so happy to use was crap. So
Say cuss words on here.
Don't say.
We're trying to get monetized.
Oh, okay. It was crap though. That's not really.
Don't you dare.
It was something that we used to say all the time as kids, me and my brother, because
what was it?
Crap.
You gotta stop.
You're doing the beep after it happens.
You know what?
Though.
There's a delay on the iPad. This is not my fault.
So my mom wouldn't like us when we used to say it all the time because it just kind of happened we were in the car and my brother said the S word. You know that one? The
what word?
And he said it on accident.
Oh, I don't like that word either.
And
no, just kidding.
It was his first time cussing in front of our parents, and she told us not to say. Yeah, and she told us not to say that, and wanted us to say something better, and then we decided to use crap, so that's why.
Wait, because he said shit.
You're not supposed to say that. Come on.
No.
Yeah.
See, here's how it works. We still get paid for it.
Okay.
If we put some kind of beep over it so nobody knows what we're saying. So
okay.
We can say any kind of cuss word.
Yeah,
so
let me say shit. Okay.
Just in case. It gave you room for double cuss word.
Okay. So that's how we started. That's how we started using crap in our daily vocabulary as a kid.
Okay. I also was not allowed to use curse words growing up. Hell. Big curse word, not allowed to use. I used to get my sister in so much trouble. You told me to go to H-E-L-L.
H-E double hockey sticks. Don't say that.
Don't spell that out loud. There's children on here. They know how to spell.
Okay. So which one was the lie?
So out of your 2 truths and a lie, remind me, what was it? One more time. It was fight, kickball. No, fight, cuss word.
PCA, hotel room.
PCA. I don't think you got your room for free.
Ah, you got me. Why do I lose in you?
Because I'm the winner.
Okay, just because you have the soundboard.
Duh. Winning.
So, yeah, I think we know each other so well. Like, it's kind of hard to, like, do
That
these
was
two
hard. I
things.
try to throw you off because, well, anything that happens before you, like if it concerns like me being little, going to like the store with my family. Obviously, you weren't there for that.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe that could throw you off a little, and you did that too with your little kid stories.
I did little kid stories.
So your first curse word was
Crap.
crap.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was shit, and then we turned it into crap.
When did you and BJ have like a moment where you guys actually sat down and talked about like cursing around each other? Me and my sister did.
Well, we used to, like, every kid, like, cursed in school, you know? Like, we just wouldn't do it at home.
I would not do it at school. My mom worked at school.
Oh.
I would. No way.
Well, I would curse at school, but, like, going home and then, like, accidentally saying it, like, oops. That's why we just used crap, so that was easier.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to use crap. Well, thank you all for joining us for this I Read a Book Once official first podcast.
Woo, woo, woo.
I think it went all right.
I think it did, too.
I
was
had a
good.
pretty fun time.
I liked it.
After this, I'm gonna moon you, but historically.
Historically moon me. With the proper fart at the end.
With the proper fart. That sounds beautiful.
Farts are funny.
Farts are funny. It doesn't matter how old you are. And you know what? Guys don't think farts are as funny as girls, and I don't know why that is. Girls think farts are so funny.
Well, guys fart all the time. I farted like twice during this podcast.
Yeah, and our mics are very hot. Each was definitely picked up and blasted into my headphones.
I could fart louder too if you want. Right into the mic.
Right into the mic?
Right into the mic.
Put your butt up there.
All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Set.
Okay.
So thanks for listening to the podcast. I hope you had a great time listening to us. And that was a fart.
You're gonna fart in our first podcast? Disrespectful. I hope you guys want to come and join us again. This was really fun. We will be here every
Wednesday.
week. That's every Wednesday. That's how you spell it. Wednesday.
Yeah, that's every time. Like, it's hard. Why is it called Wednesday if it's spelled Wednesday?
I don't know. I just try not to pay attention to what day of the week it is because time doesn't exist anyways.
Oh damn! Tune in to the next week where we talk about dreams.
I Read a Book Once podcast. Ow!
Take the I Read a Book Once podcast everywhere you go. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and SoundCloud at I Read a Book Once podcast.